tune. Have you ever heard of Wearing of the Green? That's
a lot of
that tune.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Again,
That's that tune.
They would take Irish and
there were
English
Oh,
and
yeah. I first thought that's what that was.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in the Civil War.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but they did not have, there were no copyrights. They were free to do whatever they wanted.
No
And there were
intellectual
a lot,
property protection.
That's how Stephen Foster
Lot.
yeah, and there were no piracy laws until, you mentioned the 1898 something, so it was the
started making
turn of
money.
the century.
Yeah.
Because before the Civil War, the publishers were free to do anything they want, and most of the music in the 1850s was from European composers. But then
They
the
took
Civil War
European
came in.
songs
To
and put them to American.
You know,
Whatever
like
they
Lebanon
wanted.
Richard, you know, even drinking
Oh,
songs.
well, then that's what it was.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Because Maryland is
Well, no,
and
that's
Yeah,
and
we had to do that one.
a lot of that kind of stuff. Anyway, getting back to Foster, you know that the music of the 40s and 50s was very expressive. And when he was doing the Civil War songs, it probably wasn't received in the same way. His military kind of music was not the same. It was not as expressive. But the thing I was very interested in finding out was that he never visited the South. All of his Southern songs, they sounded so authentic.
It was about the minstrel shows.
He loved the minstrel
He
shows.
never visited
Big
the South.
influence.
And as you notice, a lot of the music had Lincoln on it. Lincoln was
Yeah.
extremely popular, and his thing was all over the place. I found this in an ad in 1973, and it's Lincoln and his family. However, in this picture, there are only 2 boys, and the Lincolns had 4 boys. And this is obviously Robert Sloan Lincoln, who ended up being Secretary of State later. But this little guy, I'm not sure, I didn't do the research, but if you come later and see, this little guy up here on the wall, to me, it looks like him. And we were
I think
debating.
it's another one of the brothers.
She thinks it's one of the brothers who's dead, which makes sense. But Willie died when he was 11, and Ed was 4.
Is that the one they call Tad?
No,
Todd.
No, Tad. They called him Tad, and Lincoln called him Tad because he looked like a tadpole, because his head was bigger than his body when he was born. Which I thought was very cool.
You know, one of the sons was rescued by Booth's brother, John Wilkes.
There is a connection that goes back.
But he was falling off the train, and John Wilkes Booth's brother grabbed him, pulled him back on the train.
No kidding.
Yeah.
There's a couple of
How about
close
that?
So anyway, that's mostly what I have to say about that industry, except making profits. Sort of, you know, life went on. The war was down the road, and everybody was going just making profits and singing and dancing. And I'm going to pass these books around. You can see the lady with her big ball, skirts, and going to dances. You know, everything happened. You know, people were walking down Main Street to Wanda, and Gettysburg was being fired on. That sort of amazed me, of course.
Didn't the women turn out and watch battles?
Yeah, in Washington, I think that was always
a big
carry.
Yeah.
You know what battle going on, they all went and watched it.
Because
Well,
they
that's
could
what
get
I did.
close enough to see without being in danger.
You know what else they did is they would go, people would go to war camps, like Andersonville.
Oh, yeah.
The
They
prison
wanted to
camp.
go, the
Yeah.
prison camps, and they liked to watch them, you know. And the prisoners would do lewd things.
Entertainment.
You know. Yeah.
Weird.
I read that.
Anyway, I didn't talk about the sound books.
Well, go ahead.
They had all kinds
The
of
reality
sound books.
TV. Right?
And these just have the lyrics, and everybody carried these around, and there was a lot of singing. And
I got a little blurb right
comic and sentimental and patriotic, and they probably had 20 different kinds.
Yeah, it's good. I found a little blurb that talked about that. For the soldiers themselves, publishers produced these small little books called small pocket songbooks known as songsters. Printed without music, they contained only the words of the best-known songs, often without attributing the songs to a particular composer. Besides the Bible, these pocket songsters were the books most commonly carried by Civil War soldiers North and South. As one Confederate soldier wrote in his diary, "We kept songbooks with us and passed much of our leisure time singing. I carried my book even through prison and brought it home with me. So we have a couple samples.
Wow.
So,
Mm.
we good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do another sing along. We're gonna do tramp, 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 and I've got 3 of those. Tramp, tramp, tramp.
You have
Those-
to to this melody.
Yeah, there's
Pretty funny.
all of these are, yeah, these are,
Oh,
that's why we
yeah.
kind of